We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Asta Was Ragna the Bloodedge's Reincarnation. This is part 3, and in the last part, it's been a while, so I'll go through a necessary recap with Asta and Yuno gaining out of their grimoires, and the both of them basically learning how to use them. Asta, on the other hand, was already suspicious about that of the certain occupants within his new grimoire and needed answers. Best thing he learned, basically stab the book and hope that it basically comes with answers. Suddenly, finding out that the book has a way to defend itself, and that the person inside of the grimoire being a devil by the name of Libe. As instead of basically coming at each other's throats, or Libe basically constantly trying to take over Asta's body or anything like that, Asta decided to make a deal. That this deal would be the two of them working together. And he helps his dream of becoming Wizard King, while in return he helps Libe gain his revenge on taking away his family, which the partnership has now been settled. However, little did Asta know, Libe was actually Asta's adopted brother by that of his biological mother. And now, with the two working together, gaining that of the other 3 swords within that of the grimoire, being the Demon Destroyer Sword, the Demon Dweller Sword, and the Demon Slayer Sword, making him more of a threat than he would have been in canon, with even having more of a reason to achieve his goal, if it means protecting Yuno and everybody else in Hajj to become Wizard King, with Yuno and Asta arriving at that of the Clover Kingdom capital and preparing for the Magic Night exam. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Arriving at that of a massive stadium with tons of people waiting in line to register for the exam. Through that of the waiting line, they had to show that of their grimoires and shows that they basically had, and nothing else actually. Like, no testing of magic power, no basically showing your capabilities with your magic, none of that whatsoever. Just show that you have a grimoire and you're good to go, which has to be the laziest credentials just to become a magic knight. The words of Asta, not anyone else. And let's just say it did tick off at least some people. Not a lot, but at least a few. Within, Asta begins looking around at his competition, thinking, I can tell these guys are quite capable. Some of them even look like those damn nobles I've seen back in the other town. But still, I don't think that they're going to be much of a problem. But then, Asta bumping into somebody, as then wondering, sorry about that. Should have seen where I was going, but within, soon, somebody was about to grab his head. Before then, he grabs out of the guy's arm with that of his Azure Grimoire, looking back at the person trying to grab his head with that of pure muscle and somewhat killing intent, as Asta gives off his own killing intent, saying, when a person's apologizing, being grabbed by their head isn't the best way of basically saying, oh, that's all right. Within soon, getting a better look at the guy, as he's quite the muscular guy, to be honest, with that of a white tank top, messy black hair, a 5 o'clock shadow, and also a look that can basically menacing to kill somebody. However, for Asta, on the other hand, who was the reincarnation of Ragna the Bloodedge, this is basically another Tuesday for him. As then also seeing that of a cigarette in that of his mouth before puffing, saying, bumping into somebody and yet you apologize. I didn't say that your apology was accepted. With then saying, then that's your problem, not mine. Little did anybody know, both their presences and killing intent were basically raiding off of everybody, causing them to basically scurry in fear. Some were basically almost looking like they wanted to run away, and some basically are frozen stiff right in front of everything was going on. Before then, a certain someone comes behind Asta saying, hey, Asta, I think you should stop right now. You're starting to mess with everybody. Within soon, Asta saying, oh crap. Before then, letting go of that of the man's arm, before then saying, look, I said I was sorry, and you overreacted. Can we not basically try and make sure that we have everybody have a heart attack just by our auras alone? Because it's really annoying. Within soon, the guy took another smoke saying, yeah, you're pretty much right. That I overreacted. Within soon, a guy with that of, fancy blonde hair, wearing that of a green outfit, and that of a black robe, saying, Captain, you're not supposed to be down here, and causing fights with that of one of the participants? You gotta show a better example. With it saying, oh, right, sorry about that, funeral. I got lost when I was taking a shit, so. Within, everybody reacting, saying, wait, now that I get a better look at that guy, he's one of the captains he's one of the Magic Knight captains. I believe his name is Yami Sukahiro. Within, everybody hearing this, as even Asta saying, wait, this guy's a captain? Yeah, if I recall, Yami Sukahiro, captain of the Black Bulls, considered to be one of the worst and most infamous squads in all of the Clover Kingdom. And I hear and the guy beside him is called Finral. I hear he's a pretty iconic and well-known spatial mage, but even so, being part of the Black Bulls, your reputation's pretty bad. Within, a guy in that of a black militaristic uniform, also wearing that of a Black Bull's robe, as he has that of face paint and a military cap on his head. Within, as he whispers, saying, Captain Yami, Finral, we should probably get back up and see how everything goes. Within, as everybody couldn't hear them, but some people know this guy, saying, that guy is Gordon. I hear he's well known in that of his poison magic. Still, another guy like that in the Black Bulls? Jeez, guess it just shows on how much that they need to keep their captain in check, especially with one of the other participants. Yeah, that short guy with that of the white hair and the red jacket, that guy is insane. I mean, did you feel the power coming off of him? Saying, yeah, to think that mana like that exists, that somebody like him that looks like a commoner basically just took all that and basically brushed down that of a captain, shows on how monsters we are here this year. Within soon, Yami saying, I'll keep my eye on you, kid. You got spunk. Good luck. Within, Asta saying, yeah, thanks, and whatever. Within, Asta crossing his arms. Before then, Yuno could up and say, you got the attention of the captain, saying, yeah, but it's the worst captain, though. However, I feel like that whole worst captain thing is mainly just a name. To be honest, there's something, I don't think he's considered to be the worst captain. There's something about the guy that even gives me that of a run for my money. Within soon, couldn't help but raise an eyebrow, saying, all right, if you say so. Within soon, a lot of black and red birds began to enter and out of the stadium, as they are basically over that of possibly thousands, maybe that of millions of them inside of here. Then soon they began to some began to peck, while some began to stay away from some people, as these are anti-magic birds. they keep away from with those individuals that have high concentration of mana. And given that of a certain black-haired and amber-looking tall commoner, tons of anti-magic birds are away from Yuno. However, as for Asta, well, due to him, even though that of Seether and his drive isn't considered magic, he's basically radiating that of a small pulse of his Seether and Soul Eater drive away from that of the birds every 5 seconds, actually, to make sure that it doesn't seem like the birds are getting anywhere near him. It's pretty easy. However, a certain bird actually does end up staying on that of Asta's head, as this anti-magic bird looks like it has that of a bored and somewhat not even caring look on its face, like it has more personality. Within, Asta tries to get it off, saying, damn it! Seriously? Why the hell? My head is not a goddamn nest. With certain people basically laughing at that of Asta, however, they can still see that of a huge majority of the birds basically still keeping away from him, showing that both Yuno and Asta are two people to watch out for. With then soon, a huge burst of magical mana hits the entirety of the arena, sending the birds flying, except the one on that of Asta's head. As then, seeing the individual as it being that of a person wearing that of regal attire. However, he has that of a long magic knight robe that seems more golden orange. And not only that, he wears that of a weird fancy mask over his face. Within saying, greetings everyone, I would like to welcome you all to this year's Magic Knight exam. My name is William Vengeance, captain of the Golden Dawn of the Magic Knight squad. And as I say, this exam will basically test your categories and abilities in each and every one of these tests. So, please, do not let us down. Within, Asta couldn't help but smirk, saying, shouldn't be too hard, right? Within, soon, Yuno saying, who knows, could be way too easy for any of us. As the two foster brothers couldn't help but basically comment at this, and both reassure in their own way, with Yuno having that of eyes of determination, and Asta having that of a smirk. Within, Vaughn saying, now, let us begin, as he opens up his grimoire, as it has that of a glowing green goldish glow. Within soon, in that of the center of in the arena, a huge tree begins to emerge, as its branches soon disperse that not just that of regular leaves, but of that of broomsticks, as the brooms fall to the ground in the hands of many other people, saying, this will show us your capabilities of flight with that of brooms. Now, show us what you're all capable of. After that, each participant shows of them on a broomstick and levitating off the ground. However, depending on that of their control over their mana, is to show on how much good control they have over that of the broom, which also shows on how good they're good at on flying on a broomstick. As for some, not so bad. Some struggle a little bit, but still are able to keep their distance up. As for Yuno, on the other hand, not even breaking a sweat. Hell, even the fly with basically standing on the broomstick, actually. Almost like that of a, flying surfboard, actually. As for Asta, he has the broom in his hands, within, mentally speaking with Libe, saying, yo, Libe, saying, what is it? You think you could, I don't know, put your anti-magic around this? You did say I can basically control things that are my anti-magic and make them float. Saying, normally, yeah, but this thing is basically coated with magic. Especially that of that guy's Yggdrasil magic, after all. It would take too long for you to basically make it float. So, within saying, so better to basically use the alternative. Smart. Within, soon basically tossing the broom somewhere else. However, he tossed it basically so hard that it basically stabbed and sat at the concrete walls of the arena, which catches everybody off guard. Before then, Asta brings out that of his grimoire, Within, inside of as he pulls out the Demon Slayer sword, as he then tosses the sword on that of the ground before standing on it, and then channeling that of the anti-magic through that of his Seether, and then in that of a pulse of energy, he begins to fly up using that of the massive black blade. Within, everybody is completely caught off guard and shock as he's basically using the sword to fly up. Even Yuno actually was quite caught off guard by this and couldn't help but smirk at that of his brother, saying, "Show off as always, Asta," as he begins to fly around, not even breaking a sweat, with his hands in that of his red coat. Within saying, "So, I know this isn't a broom, but it does show my good control over basically being able to fly. So in a way, I think, does it still count?" Within soon, some people couldn't help but think that he's cheating, while some think that he's using ingenuity and basically showing off. While as for some of the captains, a few of them are quite impressed, mainly that of 3 people. However, the rest of them, on the other hand, could really care less, or they think that he's basically making a mockery out of this, especially for Vengeance of all people. As for Vengeance himself, he could help but say, "That's a unique form of magic. It looks like that of dark magic, but I never thought that dark magic like that of Yami's could be used in such a way. He could be a quite interesting fellow, I must say." Within, the first exam finally coming to an end, when the next up being that of Magic Precision. Basically a test that shows off that of control over the Magic Knight over their magic as that of projectiles, and they aim at that of a target. Within, they'll be going through that of many rolls and even switching out targets to make sure that they, don't hit the same target after all. With that of the test continue going on over and over, with some making bullseyes, some aim was off. As for Yuno, he basically hits a bullseye as always, with that of 1 wind bullet spell. As for Asta, he begins to think that he can't really shoot anything, and even throwing one of his anti-magic swords is basically out of the question. So, he decided to basically play it the more brutal way, as he pulls out that of Blood Scythe, before screaming, "Death Spike!" as that of the massive, almost beast-like head of Death Spike basically destroys the entire target as a whole, as everybody is completely caught off guard by that of the massive entity of darkness from that of the red-white sword, putting it back on that of his waist, before then saying, "Does that count?" But then soon, many people still think that he's making a mockery out of this, with showing how much power he has for an attack, to be honest, to destroy the entirety of the target itself, as it's supposed to be precision, not overwhelming force. However, it does catch the eye of many other, captains after all, with the next one being that of magical channeling. Basically, you would need to unleash all of your magical power all at once at one single point. There, it would basically scale and see on how much magical power does a person have. As on the certain levels, many other, participants barely even shown what they're qualified to be capable of. Some of the nobles stand out quite a bit because, again, it's nobles. All they do is have that of huge amount of mana, and that's it. As for Yuno, of course, it's Yuno. Just feeling his magic alone basically states on how much power this guy has. Next up being that of Asta, which also shows that of his qualifications. Because again, his magic isn't really magic, and it's mainly anti-magic and Seether. But given that he still has Ars Magus alongside with his drive, it basically mimics in being able to control magic using technology, but still close enough to basically fool them. In a way, it would be easier if he could just use that of the BlazBlue itself. That would be a good way to show it. But that would be a waste, and honestly, he still can't fully access the BlazBlue just yet. More shit from that of Azure himself. But at least in this way, he'll be able to show off at least a bit. Just like what he did with that of Killing Intent, but instead focusing it around that of his Seether and his power of darkness through Soul Eater, with then unleashing that of a full burst of his power, the power of even that from a sealed black beast, as the power alone almost felt intoxicating, almost like their soul itself was being drained. However, Asta basically stopped it before it could get that far. Within, it soon catches a lot of people off guard, especially that of the captains. Within, soon, Asta saying, "Sorry about that," tries to play it off like that of a joke, within realizing, God, I really hope that helps. Personally, if I still had my old face, that would have not gone by that easy. Thank God I look like that of a bland idiot. Really hope this doesn't get me some kind of disqualification or basically I get attacked or something like that. As a few of the captains were a little bit, caught off guard and some were terrified. However, two of them, on the other hand, took quite the interest in that of Asta, with now the last test being that of battle combat. With then soon Asta thinking, so who should I fight against? With then soon somebody tapping him on the shoulder, as then he couldn't help but think, good, first victim. As then soon seeing that of a guy wearing that of a red jacket, spiky blonde hair, and a somewhat punchable face, actually. But then the guy saying, "Hi there, my name is Seiki. It's a pleasure to meet you, little guy." Saying, "I'm 15. Within saying, "Oh, you get a fool with me." Saying, "Oh, I'm going to enjoy beating the shit out of him. I don't even need to use any of my swords, actually. Or that of your anti-magic, Libe." Saying, "Honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, just by looking at him, he does look like he has a punchable face." Saying, "Right?" Riff. Then, soon, I saying, "If you want to fight me, come on, let's go ahead." Within, saying, "Oh, really?" Just like that. Saying, "Yeah, like they said, I want to get this over with as soon as I can." Within, hearing this, he couldn't help but smirk, saying, "All right, then. Just wanted to mention to you, though, the way that you've been conducting yourself throughout this entire test, it's quite annoying, actually." Within, I was saying, "Oh, really?" Saying, "Yeah, somebody like you, I mean, you look like you were able to use magic, and all the stuff that you've done, it looks magical, but I can tell from some people, there's not an ancient trace of magic coming off of you. So, to be honest, you're some kind of anomaly, some weirdo that has magic, but doesn't radiate magic. So I decided to take upon myself to basically beat you right here and now." Saying, "Oh, really?" Just like that. Just because I'm some kind of anomaly and all that. Saying, "Of course. God, you're a dumbass." Within saying, "What?" I said, "You're a dumbass. If people like you exist, then what the hell are you even trying to be a Magic Knight for? To be honest, it just proves on how incompetent if somebody like you can become a Magic Knight." Within, hearing that, a few other people couldn't help but think, well, that's being an arrogant asshole. Within Yuno saying, there he goes again. Saying, I mean, come the hell on. You're basically just going to try and lord over your power. If you become a Magic Knight and you do shit like this, it just proves on how pathetic you are. And how trash this system is, too. And trust me, I've dealt with my fair share of trashed-ass government systems. It's just going to prove my point even more on how much the Clover Kingdom needs somebody like me. Within, the guy couldn't help but have that of a vein, while still smiling, saying, "You know what? I think I'm going to enjoy seeing you basically crash and burn, you arrogant little bastard." Within him opening up his grimoire, as that of a blue-like aura comes off of it. Before then, soon saying, "Bronze creation magic," as he creates that of a blue-like barrier that has that of multiple, vase-like holes coming off of it, as it has that of a somewhat aqua feel to it, with thinking that it has an elemental aqua to it, but unfortunately it has no elemental water magic towards it. With then saying, "Let's see if you can break through that of this indestructible barrier. There's no way you can." Within saying, "That's it? Bronze magic? Like, you don't have any offensive kind of spell or something like that?" Within saying, "Like I needed to beat you. I'll just wait until you tire yourself out, then take you down." As he mentally thinks, "I actually do have an offensive magic. This is actually just that of secondary magic for me. It's my curse magic, actually. Once I'm done, once you basically tire yourself out, I'll hit you with one of my curse spells. They'll never see it coming, and humiliating you will make me that of a hero. But then saying, alright, I'd like to warn you, I don't hold back. You really kind of pissed me off with your face alone. Within, soon hearing that, saying, what did he mean by... Within, that of a dark aura begins to wrap around that of his right arm. Within, everybody completely sees it as it looks like that of a demonic claw. Within, soon, Seiki can help but think, I think I have made a big mistake here. Before then, and that's of one, and looking like he's in that of a runner stance. Before then, cracking the ground, in a blitz of speed, he couldn't help but screams out, Hell's Fang! Slamming the claw through that of the barrier, and grabbing him by that of his face. Before then saying, I have made an error. As Asta heard this saying, yes, you did. Before then gripping his head and then flinging him to the wall, slamming him through it actually, completely cracking it, and him even coughing up a little bit of blood as he's completely and utterly unconscious before flying down to the ground, as it basically caused everybody to completely have that of all jaw and drop, as he didn't even need to bring out that of his grimoire to do so, just his magic arm, just that of his dark arm alone. But then a few of the captains couldn't help but make comments saying, incredible, that magic power, it's something else. Still, to have dark magic, which is quite rare. But then thinking, did he use that of body enhancement magic to move that fast and to slam his fist into that of a magic barrier alone? It has to. Within, soon Yami can help but say, nope, he didn't use any body enhancement magic. That's pure and utter raw speed and power alone. As for that of the darkness, it looks like dark magic, but it doesn't feel like dark magic. It feels like something different. As somebody who uses darkness magic, that is completely and utterly different. And it's definitely not shadow magic like that of Nasht of all people. I know how that guy's shadow magic is like. And yet, but then, looking at that of Asta, as he's saying, it's like a mix of both my darkness magic and Nasht's shadow magic all rolled into one. This kid, as Yami couldn't help but take that of a smoke from his cigarette, before then smiling through that of his to his inhale, but then saying, he is something else. Not only he's able to match my killing intent and mana alone with that of his own killing intent and pressure alone as well. He's got the power, the brains, and the ingenuity to basically make up for shortcomings. Honestly, knowing a few of these stuffy britches, they wouldn't be bothered getting somebody like him, which are too many anomalies around him. Maybe Firehead. I can see him having some brains turning. And maybe even Vengeance too. I can see him keep looking at that other black-haired kid. But still, I'll be damned to let that kid go. Then soon, Yuno also takes on his opponent, which is basically a guy using that of lightning magic, but he barely even steps up to that of Yuno's wind magic. Not to mention, Yuno was barely even trying, actually, which causes him to even stand out even more among the captains. With that, all of the final night's exams finally comes to an end with now one last thing, the assortment, as it's now currently in the evening with that of the orange bright sky now shining. Within, Vengeance has his arms up saying, we will now begin that of the assortment. We will call you by that of your participant number. The captains will basically raise up that of their thumbs to see who will be that they like you. You will be able to choose between each of us Magic Knight captains based on what you prefer. Within hearing this, Yuno isn't too phased, with Asta thinking, shit. Knowing my luck, no chance in hell any of them are interested in me. Especially not that big guy from earlier. Guy just screams prideful asshole. Within Libe saying, you need to be a little bit more optimistic, Asta, saying, well, I'm sorry. I just gotta say that when it comes to people like them, it's easy to get optimistic when it comes to arrogant, entitled, and selfish assholes. Then him sighing, saying, but even so, hopefully I get at least one. I gotta become Wizard King after all. No chance in hell I'm letting that dream die just yet. Azure basically pushed me through this shit for too long. Like hell, I'm basically back down now because of one goddamn hiccup. As Asta's eyes basically gleam, and that's of resolve. Libe could help but say, you're one interesting one, you know that, Asta? With that, everybody begins to get sorted into their squads. Some people were chosen, some people chose their squads, while some weren't even chosen at all. Surprisingly, that Seiki guy ended up getting chosen by that of the captain of the Green Mantises, actually. Showing even more that the guy has at least some potential, possibly maybe some kind of punching bag. Next up was Yuno. Within him being called by that of everybody. Everybody wanted him in their Magic Knight squad. Hell, even that of a certain blonde-haired woman that where the squad normally composes of women after all, would make an exception for Yuno and Yuno alone. With Yuno, could help but say, I must ask, I plan on becoming Wizard King. Which squad would allow me to achieve my goal the fastest? Within, hearing this, Asta could help but say, you cheeky tall bastard. Before smirking, but then soon, Vengeance couldn't help but smile, within saying, that would be my squad, the Golden Dawn, as we take missions from that of the Wizard King himself. Within, hearing this, Yami could help but say, you do know we also do the same thing, right? As Vengeance heard this, but not even bothering answering Yami. Within, soon, Yuno saying, then I'll join the Golden Dawn. With that, Vengeance saying, excellent. Now, last one, as they call Asta's number. Within, soon, Asta wonders if he's going to get at least some calls. Within, he sees that nobody's raising any thumbs up for him, except one who tries to, but is then stopped by that of a certain loud, obnoxious, and arrogant voice saying, hold on there, you really got some nerve, kid. Within, soon, feeling that of the massive pressure of mana coming from that of the man that Asta ran into, being Yami. Within, the Black Bull's captain couldn't help but say, you have some unique power. You got some kind of power that symbolizes magic, but it doesn't feel like magic. Not to mention, throughout the entirety of this test, of the exam, that you basically cleared them, but in ways that basically shows that you are seems like you're above the rules and doing things your own way. So I gotta ask, what makes you think that you should even join the Magic Knight squad? Within, hearing this, Asta can help but clench his fist, within saying, you know what? I could care less. If you get in my way or anyone else, I'll come back next year and I fail again and again and again. I'll keep on coming until somebody takes me, because I plan on becoming a Magic Knight to become the Wizard King. So, and if you think you could basically intimidate me and try to tell me that I got no right to come back, well then. But then, bursting in acts of his own power from Seether and that of Soul Eater. Within, everybody could feel that of the pressure coming off of both Asta and Yami. With even the captains are a little bit worried, thinking that this is going to turn into a fight, as many of them prepare that of their grimoires and their magic. Within, even Finro thinking, God, why? Almost looking like he's about to shit himself from fear alone. Within, the two basically sizing each up like they did earlier. However, Yami basically stops soon after before laughing his ass off. Even that of slapping his knee as well. Within, soon, Asta stops doing the same, raising an eyebrow over that of his red eye. Within, saying, God, you are one unique kid. saying you'll keep on coming back no matter what, if any of us fall out, that any of us basically deny you, you got some guts. And to be honest, you would be crazy to deny somebody like you. Honestly, I would want you to join my squad, the Black Bulls. We're considered to be the worst squad, but just like that of Maskface up there, we also take missions from that of the Wizard King himself. So, what do you gotta say? That you want to be Wizard King like that black-haired tall kid, right? Now's your chance. You got another way of doing it, but you may have to start from the bottom to do so. Within, Asta couldn't help but scoff, saying, seriously? I was planning on it to start from the bottom to reach Wizard King, no matter what. Even if I had to crawl to do it and reach the top, I'm gonna do it no matter what. Am I in? As Asta gets off that of a toothy smile. Within, Yami couldn't help but smirk back himself, saying, hell yeah, you're in, kid. Welcome to the Black Bulls. As the two couldn't help but basically dap each other's hands. Before then, soon, I was saying, let's get the hell out of here. Hey, Finral, Gordon, get your asses down here. Within, soon, grabbing that of both Gordon, Finral comes down, saying, you here, Captain, saying, let's get going. I think I've already found who I want to join my squad. Everyone else is not even worth my time. Within hearing that, the last remaining participants couldn't help but basically feel insulted by that of Yami's words alone. Within thinking that they're pretty much right. And few of them would be basically caught dead even joining the Black Bulls. Within, Yuno seeing Asta, Kelp would say, even though he's starting from that of the worst squad, he's still closer to become Wizard King if he didn't even know it, after all. And yet, I wish he would have joined the Golden Dawn. Within, soon, Vengeance couldn't help but huff himself, saying, what a shame, I was actually interested in gaining the young man myself. Unique abilities alone, he has quite the potential. Before then clearing his throat, saying, now, let us continue with then, as Yami, Asta, Finral, and Gordon already leave the Magic Knight exam, a new batch of Magic Knights and those who couldn't even make the cut began to leave. As now, the Magic Knights have gained that of quite the unique assortment of Magic Knights, and one of them is going to be giving them quite a run for their money. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this? Honestly, this is still, even though that this Asta, he still has the personality and acts pretty still close to that of Ragna after all. Especially with his memories. So yeah, this Asta would basically think things through at least a little bit more before basically just, running into shit or trying to just do by pure willpower alone, which is bullshit and stupid as hell. Not to mention, with this Asta being a lot more, angry due to that of Ragna's anger issues after all, he wouldn't basically take shit to face value and basically stand up for himself, even if it's seen as that of a joke after all. So yeah, him basically squaring up to that of Yami would make a lot of sense. At any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, hope you all take care. Do your thing, my Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlist. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!